Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Roy Johnson's Sentinels with art by Luis Rivera and Fish Lee. They currently have a Kickstarter running for their next issue. I want to thank my friend and writer Ray McKay for sending me these issues to review. They're so much superhero goodness, Bronze Age kind of fun. If that's your bag, stick around. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, so they have to explain the gag here, they have about 10 issues out. They have a Kickstarter going for their next issue. It is like Bronze Age flavored superhero goodness. The conceit is, what if there were DC, Marvel, and Standard Comics, if these characters from the bygone era had never gone to the public domain and had continued to be published. They're mostly superheroes. It feels very like JSA, very like Infinity Inc., very, there's a lot of, like, if you like Big Bang comics, you'll kind of like the retro feel of this. The art is fun. The thing that sort of makes it different is that it's a mixture of public domain heroes and teamed up with Roy Johnson's original creations. There's characters from other indie creators that guest star in the book, and it's just a lot of fun. You can see it's like bright, beautiful, superhero colored art, and I really love it. So I will put a link to the Kickstarter they are currently running in the description of the video for their next issue. Kickstarter is a great way to get your comics made and funded. You know, looking at this, it makes me happy that we're at a place in comic books where, you know, you can make your own comics, have them funded through Kickstarter, and get them published. Or something like on demand through Indie Planet, which could blam, which I think some of these were on. Anyway, so it's just like starts out with, the other interesting aspect of the story is it starts out with like 267. With, once again, the conceit that this is, there are 266 issues that had preceded this, and, so this is like a jumping on point, which is so interesting for me. If you watch my channel, I really hate the unending renumbering of comics, the multiple number ones. I feel like it waters down everything. So I think that this is kind of interesting. It shows that like when I started reading Uncanny X-Men, I think my first issue was 164 or something like that. Maybe 163. Yeah, I think it was 163. And I didn't give up, because there was 162 issues before that, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. It's that's part of the fun, is catching up with it. So learning about these characters retroactively and is no problem. You know what I mean? It's so much fun. I love the double page spreads. There's lots of double page spreads. So most of the issues that were sent to me are drawn by Fish Lee, and I love seeing his art evolve over the course of the series. But this issue here is drawn by Luis Rivera, script by Roy Johnson, color by S. Comic, and letters by Micah Myers. I love the dramatis personae. The showing of the lineup of the characters is always fun for me. It really does look like, reminds me of Big Bang, with a lot of the sort of archetypes and tropes and homages. But I feel like, characters like TNT Todd are fun. And I feel like I'm not super learned when it comes to public domain characters, so I can't instantly tell you which ones are original creations of Roy Johnson here and which ones are the public domain, but they kind of seem obvious in some instances. I don't know. So it's just very, very classic, good superhero storytelling. Very much speaks to me, the kind of comic book stories that I grew up on and the type that I love. I love a good team dynamic. There are a lot of fun comic tropes and plays. Who doesn't love a good cyborg kind of gorilla situation? Love the double page spreads. The art looks really nice and polished. the coloring is good. The lettering is good. You know, I always think the lettering is so important in a comic book, and it can make or break like the professional level looking of the comic book. And it does look very professional. You know, this looks just under like Marvel DC level of as far as professionalism. But I feel like, especially with an indie kind of book, you're going to see like an evolution and an improvement over the course of the series. And you do. You know, Nelvana, I definitely recognize as a public domain character. This little backup. Art by Brendan and Brian Frame. Really gorgeous art here in the backup. I really enjoy it. Looks very Silver Agey, fun. So that was 268. Here's 269. Isn't that crazy? We're already like so far into the series and only the second issue. Once again, I kind of like the, okay, here we go with Fishley, who draws the rest of the issues I'm sharing with you today. And I really love his style. You can tell that he's a young artist, but you can also see him developing and evolving. There's an undeniable quirkiness and energy to the art that I really love. And he's doing penciling, inking, coloring, and lettering. You know, it does look digitally inked in some instances. I feel like I'm not 100% a fan of digital inking, and I struggle with it myself in my own work. I feel like we're not 100% there. However, we will see Fishley get better like by the next issue, and I think that is kind of the fun of this concept as well. That reminds me of the Bronze Age comic book experience, if you lived it in real life, is you did get to see artists come onto a book with great potential and energy and really grow and develop and come into their own over the course of the series. Some really, really great artists, and there are some really standout pages here that show that this artist has a lot of things intact. And, you know, the writing is solid too. It's just, it feels very, what do you call it? Like solid, very in line with, you know, good superhero adventures. There's a lot of fun characterization that I think the fact that the artist Fishley here, you know, puts a lot of expression and animation into the movement of the characters. This stopped me in my tracks. This is so beautiful. The George Perez / Phil Jimenez influence is largely present in this uncredited artist. I did not see credit for this gorgeous spread, and I'm sure that someone will tell me in the comments who this artist is, because it is absolutely beautiful, and this page is gorgeous, and this is super. It's so funny because I say Phil Jimenez and George Perez influence, and Phil Jimenez was undeniably influenced by George Perez. So it's kind of weird to see someone who's influenced by someone who was so influenced by someone else. Nelvana looks amazing there. Love this Optima character. There's a fun mix. This Wonder Man is good. I already want to draw like some of these characters myself. This also reminds me kind of like what Eric Larson is doing in Savage Dragon, incorporating a lot of public domain characters into his storylines, which I think is so much fun. This is a page that really stood out to me. I love how ambitious this is. I love the architecture, and I love just the joyful look on that character's face. Now, that said, you know, he has a one-man show doing like I said, the penciling, inking, lettering, and coloring here. The lettering font looks good. It's a little bigger. We'll see it go down in size next issue. So like I said, I love seeing this like unfold in real time in a way. This is a little too effects heavy for me and doesn't read great, but I think he's getting like a better handle on the cover colors as we progress, which makes me happy because he's such a good artist otherwise. So I think it's fun. Like, these characters are so great. The Kickstarter is very close to being funded, and, you know, who knows, by the time this video rolls around, hopefully it will be. I'd love to see this series continue, and I'm happy to support it. Always happy to support, you know, an indie comic because it takes so much work to do a comic, even if you have the support of a company like DC or Marvel behind you, and to do it all from scratch by yourself, like on this level, you deserve mad props and respect. You know what I mean? Nobody's making you do this. It's like spinning a lot of plates and making a lot of magic happen. Or script Roy Johnson, art officially bonus reprint from the Sentinels #5 with pencils and ink by Brendan and Brian Frame. Nice to see them again. See, like sometimes it falls apart for me with the digital inking because I recognize this as an effect. Whereas in the past, if it were done in traditional inking, it would be just more organic looking. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's used a lot. Here we go with another gorgeous double page spread. Love the dramatis personae. This character is very reminiscent of Captain Atom, and he is beautifully drawn. Very nice. See, we're already seeing like a level of improvement in the digital inks here. More confidence, more definition, and better like line weight and texture. Another gorgeous double page spread. I love that hilarious kind of finger sandwiches stands out as like the only logo. And I think that artists are always doing like tip of the hats to like past creators and things like that. So I have to believe that this artist loves Bill Finger, and that's his homage to him. So maybe, I don't know. This Optima character, she a black woman with white hair, very Storm-like, or what is her deal? Of course, I instantly like her. TNT Todd, another fun character. So, like I said, this is such a great, fun mix of like public domain, original characters, superhero tropes, another gorgeous double page spread. See, this artist has everything going for him as far as dynamic layouts, the characters acting, on point anatomy, good storytelling. So this is a very solid book, very steeped in Bronze Age sort of aesthetic. Love the art team here on this backup of Brendan and Brian Frame. So beautiful. Nice touch there. A little Fred Hembeck for you, just as a bonus. One issue left. Isn't this such a good series? Like, totally, like, feeling the nostalgic feels of all the group books superhero teams that I used to love. See what I'm saying? Like, you can definitely see an evolution in the art. I feel like Fishley is definitely trying to find himself, and it's paying off in spades. It looks really good. This is a fun opening page. Script, Roy Johnson. Art, pencils, inks, colors, letters, Fishley. Flats by Shane Quee. Sweet. Who was the colorist on the Big Bang book I just reviewed, by the way. And I think I mispronounced their name on that one too. So at least I'm consistent with that. Like, aren't these characters fun? I love them. They just look so fun. I love to see the myriad of different tarantula, characters running through here. This page stood out. It's really gorgeous to me. Love the Navi cube, very cosmic cube, right? Fun, like, use of color there, and just like really good effects. See what I'm saying? How like there's like this great evolution happening as we go through this story. Cannot wait to see what they do next. There are a lot of characters to juggle, and you kind of just have to go with it. But I think that the way it plays out is done in a way that keeps it engaging and entertaining and not confusing. And I really love the interaction of this family on this page. That was fun. So there's a great mix of like superhero dynamics and human interaction too, which I think is like the bread and butter of the Bronze Age, perhaps. I don't know. These are fun backups. I love the character, like, Marvel Universe, DC Who's Who kind of things. These are beautifully drawn here. Some more fun characters. A fun ad for that. And this looks like the Phil Jimenez, George Perez funny artist that I need to know the name of, FYI. Okay, you guys, there you go. There you have it. Ray McKay is apparently working with them, writing a future issue of this, and sent me this to help get the word out and, let you know that this is the latest Kickstarter comic that you need to be a part of. If you're a fan of Big Bang, the Bronze Age era, or just good, fun superhero comics, this one's for you. Follow the link in the description to fund it today. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more soon.